lot of brands have a perception of affiliate marketing that it's a turnkey thing. You're going to join a network, plug into the network, set up an offer, and affiliates are just going to discover you on their own, and they're going to self-serve, and they're going to activate their offers on their own, and it's just going to scale, and you're going to be able to passively manage this thing. Once you have a clear definition of who that customer is, what the buying journey looks like, where in their business cycle they're buying, and what the key motivating factors are, and you really have developed that ICP. What you need to do is engineer the structure to incentivize the affiliate to take more risk. If they take the rev share offer, they should be able to earn more net on that referral than if they were to take a cost per lead.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to set up a successful affiliate program for your B2B SaaS. My guest is Adam Glazer. Adam has been affiliate marketing since the year 2000 and for the last 15 years active with his performance marketing agency, Partner Commerce. They help companies like TikTok, Google, Uber, Notion, Zendesk with client acquisition through affiliate marketing. And they purely focus on B2B, which makes them a perfect expert in this industry. Happy to have you on, Adam.
I'm happy to be here. Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Let's dive in right away with the basic questions. What is affiliate marketing?
At its core, it's referral-based partnership marketing, right? Where one party, often called an affiliate, sometimes you'll hear the word publisher, refers traffic, sometimes leads, but most often traffic to another party. That other party often being called an advertiser, or sometimes a merchant, and where the customer purchases directly from the advertiser, and the affiliate earns a reward for referring that customer. That, in essence, is how I think of affiliate marketing.
And we're going to dive deeper in what kind of rewards and how would they promote later on. Maybe one other basic question, like why should SaaS companies set up an affiliate program in your opinion?
I think for the same reason that any company should set up an affiliate program, which is you're looking to grow and your options are paid media. And so with paid media, the costs are increasing exponentially. Every year, your CPCs and your CPMs are going up double, sometimes triple digit. At some point, those channels are going to saturate. There's a finite amount of paid search that you can buy. There's a finite number of people searching for something, and there's a finite number of impressions available for your audience. Also, with paid marketing, paid media runs an inherent risk. You're outlaying capital without guaranteed return. You have to test and learn. With affiliate marketing, in theory, there is no cap, right? You keep adding more partners, you keep getting more reach. It's limitless reach. It's also performance-based. So there's less risk. You're only paying when you have a monetary transaction, right? Most of the time. Sometimes there's other types of events that can be monetizable that don't involve a sale, but nonetheless, it is performance-based. So you're paying for outcomes rather than just paying up front for impressions. And you have greater control over the ROI, right? It's not a biddable marketplace, an auction marketplace where it's designed to drive the costs up. I've found it to have a greater ROI than other marketing acquisition, direct marketing channels. And I think the last thing why affiliate would be preferable to other types of marketing options you have is, in addition to just being able to drive a great amount of acquisition and growth, there's an advocacy effect. You have a third party who's advocating on your behalf. They're driving traffic, they're driving sales. Even when someone is not directly clicking on that link and acting on it, they're still reading the review, the article, they're seeing the endorsement that has an impact on the response rates in other direct marketing channels. I think affiliate marketing, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts because of that advocacy effect.
So in the end, not everything will be attributed towards the affiliate. You will actually have a lot more going on outside of it as well.
And they're third parties. It's not a billboard advertisement where it's sponsored by the company. There's an implied endorsement from a trusted third party. I do business with Chase Bank, and if Chase Bank tells me that they like this vendor for this type of service, that comes with an implied endorsement. I trust Chase Bank. Chase Bank trusts this company. So there's advocacy behind it.
Makes sense. And affiliate marketing is not for every company. When should a SaaS company set up an affiliate program?
For brands that should set up an affiliate program, do it sooner rather than later, because it takes time to build the channel. It's not an immediate, it's not like a faucet that you turn on and instant flow. You have to develop relationships, and you have to build a pipeline of relationships. Those partners need time to get their things in market and scale, optimize, learn, and scale. So sooner is better.
For example, what kind of revenue should you have? How many users should you have? Should an
Yeah.
early stage company do it?
Yeah. So what I'll say is this. I think that we've seen affiliate work best when the SaaS company has a SMB audience, and skewing micro SMB, so 1 to 10 employees, right? SMB can be, people define it up to 250, 500 employees sometimes. I think when you're selling into larger businesses, they tend to have longer, more complex sales cycles. There's a buying committee. Affiliate marketing lends itself better to SaaS brands that are selling to an SMB audience, also where you have a very large TAM. If you have a product selling to mid-market companies, utility companies in the Southwest, and a narrow affiliate, it's going to be very hard to do affiliate marketing. If you're selling like a CRM product or some sort of desktop publishing product, I think those are things that everybody needs, every business needs. There's millions and millions of SMBs, so the TAM is very large, and they're micro SMBs, so they're looking to publishers and influencers to help them make decisions on software, whereas a much larger company might engage with a service provider who is going to actually do the selling, right? And so that now that's also partnership marketing, but now you're getting outside of affiliate and you're getting into channel and reseller. So we said SMB, micro SMB, large TAM. The other thing is where you are a platform product. So what do I mean by platform product? Some SaaS brands are platform products. A CRM would be a good example. You're going to build processes and work streams around your CRM. You're going to develop work streams around it. And there's a whole cottage industry around a platform product to help implement, support, and develop around it. There are add-on products. There's platform products and that plug into the platform product. The platform products just tend to do very well with affiliate marketing because of that natural ecosystem of service providers that are built around it. The add-on products have a harder time doing affiliate marketing. That doesn't mean it can't be successful. If you're talking about the perfect circumstances of when affiliate is going to succeed, those would be the things. As far as where the company is in their evolution, there's some benefit to you have a brand and you're doing other marketing and there's brand awareness. That definitely is going to help you with affiliate for sure. But I think as long as the payout is structured correctly and the product is valuable and you have the right offer and the right incentives in place, I think you can be successful even with an early stage.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, TAM is total addressable market. So your market has to be big enough for people
Thank you.
To market towards. And I think it all makes sense, right? What you're saying is there needs to be a big market, SMB, which is easier to purchase than selling to enterprise, and which also makes it easier to find people who have access to the network or to the ICP you're targeting. So the more niche you go, the harder it is going to be to actually find people who have access to your ICP.
That's it.
If we talk about the fun stuff, what are the most common mistakes companies make while setting up and growing an affiliate program?
There are a few big ones, I think, that are sort of program killers. If I had to boil it down to the one most overarching common misconception, I think would be not actively managing the channel. A lot of brands have a perception of affiliate marketing that it's a turnkey thing. You're going to join a network, plug into the network, set up an offer, and affiliates are just going to discover you on their own, and they're going to self-serve, and they're going to activate their offers on their own, and it's just going to scale, and you're going to be able to passively manage this thing. That's just not true. There was a time in the early 2000s when more B2C type brands would join Commission Junction, what was called Linkshare at the time, which is now Rakuten. It was like turnkey, all-in-one affiliate tracking platform and marketplace. You would join these marketplaces and it was about scale. You would get tens of thousands of affiliates and they would self-serve. That worked for a while, but what we learned was that it came with a lot of fraud. It came with a lot of non-incremental referrals. And the programs eventually that emerged were the most successful were ones that took an active management approach that really focused on a smaller number of more productive partners and invested in those relationships, right? You are developing relationships, you're nurturing those relationships, you're actively managing the channel, you're keeping it fresh, you're updating offers, you're updating incentives, you're helping enable your partners to sell effectively. That takes a team, human capital, it takes some technology, it takes some investment in resources. But I think if you go in with a passive management approach, it's going to fail.
Yeah, and you say something really crucial, like helping your partners to sell. I think that's super important, right? Because
Yeah,
if people find you, if they're not a user, they might not always know how to recommend you, or they might start recommending you in the way you don't want to be recommended. So actually
right.
helping them to sell and provide them all the materials and details they need.
Training, certifications, sell sheets, battle cards, content, and then even just educating them on as your product evolves, new offers, new features, and the selling approach.
Are you struggling to find people and companies which have access to your ideal customer profile? At Redditis, we just launched a second side of the marketplace, which allows you to search, filter, and contact B2B SaaS affiliates which have access to the audience you're looking for. We do this by leveraging first-party data sources. Want to learn more? Go to getredditis.com.
So let's maybe even break it down. So if a SaaS company is listening and they think, yes, I want to set up an affiliate program, but they've never done so, what would be the first step they should take to actually set up an affiliate program?
The very first thing is strategic planning. We call that a go-to-market plan. And that begins with, for us as a third party coming in, it would be discovery, just understanding your business, the unit economics, the audience. Internally, I think it's just understanding your audience, right? Who's your ICP? So ideal customer persona. And then once you have a clear definition of who that customer is, what the buying journey looks like, where in their business cycle they're buying, and what the key motivating factors are, you really have developed that ICP. You can then map that back to what I call an IPP, an ideal partner persona. So you can think about all the different insertion points in that buying cycle and who are the partners that are touching those customers at those critical moments of the buying journey and where they're having influence. Once you've mapped that to your IPP, you can then prioritize. You can start to do some research and find out how many of those partners are there and who's currently working, what other competitive products are they currently promoting, and are they likely to want to work with me in a performance basis and an affiliate basis, and how would we engage them, and what are they going to need from us to be successful? So also doing some competitive research. What are your competitors? How are they incentivizing partners? Looking at their backlinks, trying to figure out who's promoting them. Also having a very clear sense of the KPIs, your key performance indicators, right? In other words, just how are you going to measure success? Making sure that you have a clear plan of what does success mean and how are you going to measure that? And then I think part of that, so we're talking about the components of a go-to-market plan. This is before you can start putting the bricks on your house, you need a very clear blueprint, right? And so this blueprint, this go-to-market plan includes things like I mentioned, the ICP map to the IPP, competitive research, defining your measurement strategy, your KPIs. Then how are you going to incentivize and reward partners? What does that structure look like? How are you going to negotiate? Because inevitably there's going to be negotiation. So you're just going to come out of the gate with your best offer? Or are you going to have a tiered structure? Are you going to incentivize greater for higher volumes? Are you going to pay only on a rev share? If you do that, is that going to preclude you from working with other types of partners? Do you need to be prepared to pay on a cost per lead? How are you going to discover and recruit these partners? How are you going to enable it? We talked about enablement and support. So if in your IPP, you've decided that I really want to work with agencies, we think agencies is a great opportunity. They're touching customers early in maybe it's a web development company. They're not implementing the CRM, but they're in a position to say, usually a small business might say to the person that built their website, do you use Google Workspace or do you use Microsoft 365? Oh, we like Google Workspace. Here's a coupon code. Go and set, and I'll set it up for you a little bit. I'll set up your record so it maps to your domain, but I'm not going to manage it for you like the way a reseller would. But a web developer could be an affiliate. In fact, we have Google Workspace as one of our clients and agencies. So let's say in the planning process, you've identified agencies as a key segment of part. Now you have to think about, what are they going to need to be successful? Are they going to need coupons? They're going to need coupons. How are we going to support that? By thinking through all of the opportunities and challenges and having a clear roadmap, and things are prioritized and everything is measurable, and you know how you're going to measure success, then you're going in with a plan to win, rather than just ad hoc doing things in a knee-jerk fashion and failing. And then leadership says, you've spent 6 months and you've got, no, well, we learned all these things not to, which is a good thing. But you could have avoided that if you just took the time to go slow to go fast. The strategic plan is absolutely the first thing everyone should do. And I think it's too often overlooked. They just start doing it without really thinking through the evolution of the program.
Yeah, makes sense. Once you have the plan and once you have your IPP, then it's time to start recruiting those affiliates. You mentioned already looking at competitors, looking at backlinks, or maybe you defined agencies. How would you go about and actually recruit affiliates?
First, it's probably going to be building your program on a platform. For example, there's a network. You'll have that resource, right? You'll be able to access that marketplace and discover affiliates, and they'll be able to discover you. That's one option. You could hire an agency as well who has their own network. It's not a marketplace like in Redditus, but we have relationships with tens of thousands of affiliate partners that we've worked with on behalf of Notion and Google and Klaviyo and TikTok and Uber. And so we know who's been successful and what types of offers, and we have those relationships ready to go for you. So an agency is another option. If you're doing it on your own, then the low-hanging fruit would be looking at your competitors, reverse engineering, trying to discover who's partnering with them, and then trying to recruit partners. There are some discovery tools that you can license that essentially are automating what you could do yourself manually by going to Google and other search engines. If you know the right Boolean operators and you know how to scrape results, but it's knowing the right operators to search so that you're finding prospective partners that are likely, for instance, if I'm finding someone that already has the footprint of affiliate tracking on their site, that's an indicator to me that they're likely to want to work with you in an affiliate capacity, right? You're going to discover thousands of sites to go after. Which ones do you prioritize? And you want to start to prioritize ones that are promoting my competitors, work with other affiliates, trying to get some sense of their reach, how much traffic they have, so you can prioritize and know which ones to prioritize in your negotiations. And I think also you're going to be putting broadly prospects into two buckets. At least we do. We have what we call managed and unmanaged. So a managed partner is basically just someone that we think has scale and potential to drive real impact. And a managed partner is going to be someone that we're going to outreach to manually, pick up a phone and call them and develop a relationship with them and handhold them and onboard them onto the program. For the unmanaged, so let's say it's agencies. We're going after web development agencies in the Netherlands, right? We're going to acquire a list. We're going to search and scrape together a list. We're going to use contact management tools to find the right people at those companies. We're going to prioritize the ones that we think are managed. And those 50 are going to get called by our best partner development managers. The other 950 are going to go into a sequence. And we're going to use marketing automation to try to warm up opportunities with them. And so there's a push and a pull to the recruiting.
Yeah. Yeah, and this probably goes also towards the onboarding, right? Because what I wanted to ask, do you treat everybody the same? But you gave answer here already, like you have the unmanaged and managed bucket. Does it also go for onboarding affiliates?
Yeah, definitely. So yes, in terms of managed and unmanaged, yes. So the managed affiliates, the unmanaged we're going to develop things to help them self-serve, right? So we're going to develop how-tos, video content, a wiki or FAQ, ways that they can and help themselves, right? And use triggered messaging. So if they've been dormant for a while, they're going to get a message. If they've generated their first click, they're going to get a message. If they generated their first sale, they're going to get a message, right? And so we're trying to replicate the experience of managing them, but in a more automated way, because we can't scale to thousands of partners. The human cost of that would be too high. I would say, in addition to the managed, unmanaged bifurcation, it's also important to segment your affiliates by the type of affiliates that they are. Agencies are going to have very different needs and ways of being communicated to, and they're going to require different enablement resources than influencers. Same with publishers, same with whatever other groups. So you want to customize it to the group, the region, managed, unmanaged, and that way the number of touches, the types of touches, it's all going to be customized.
Yeah, makes sense. They will need different things. They are going to promote you differently. So you will need to provide them different kinds of materials as well.
Some affiliates are going to need, most of the time, the affiliates that we work with are driving traffic. So they need a link. Sometimes certain affiliates want to refer leads. We don't want every affiliate to have the ability to refer leads, because you don't want to inundate your call center or your sales force with poor quality leads. You want to reservingly enable some affiliates to have a form where they can submit leads. Making how you group affiliates and how you enable certain features, depending in terms of the type of affiliate that they are. Otherwise, what you did, if you just open that up to everybody, you're giving everybody this tool, and that's going to create more pain for you. You have to think through how you recruit, onboard, activate, support affiliates in a customized way.
Yeah, and I guess then leaves only one last step, which is the rewards. You have leads. At the beginning, you mentioned you can't get certain partners if you don't give them something they want. What kind of payment models do you guys work with, and what do you see is working?
We like to think of it as a continuum of offers. If you think about, let's just take a SaaS brand, the least risk to the advertiser, to the SaaS brand, is the paying out on a rev share. Typically, we see a percentage of year one revenue, 20%, let's say, I would say, is the industry sort of benchmark. So 20% of year one revenue, right? That's the least risk to you as the brand. But it's the most risk to the affiliate, because one, the sale has to happen, right? They drove the traffic to you, and now you have to actually close that sale. And then they can't churn, and they have to stay for a year. I have to trust that you're actually going to pay me. It's going to take me a year to recover that money, and a year plus, because really, what if it's a 90-day sales cycle? Could be 15 months before I get all my money. But I have an upfront cost in getting that traffic to you. So the affiliate is naturally going to want to get paid at the other end of that continuum. They're going to want to be paid up front. Give me a flat fee, give me a cost per click. And then along that continuum, there are lots of different opportunities, right? You can pay on the sign up, right? The lead, the start of a trial. You can pay on a qualified trial or qualified lead, where it's a bona fide customer and it's a new customer, and they're not what I call a mayfly. They're actually activating and behaving like a real customer, not just to get it's not incentivized elite. You could pay on the event where they become a paid customer. You could pay on a hybrid of these things. You could pay something on the lead plus a rev share, and any combination thereof. So there's this continuum of offers. And I think what you need to do is you need to engineer the structure to incentivize the affiliate to take more risk. If they take the rev share offer, they should be able to earn more net on that referral than if they were to take a cost per lead. Put it in simple math, if they're going to get $1 per lead, if they take the rev share, it should back out to $2 per lead, because they're taking more risk. Yes, we'll work with you, partner, on a CPL, but if we're going to work with you on a CPL, that means we're taking more risk. That means you have to accept a lower payout, effective lower payout. And so you want to engineer that. And then you also want to, maybe within each band on that continuum, create tiering. So if you're working with someone on a rev share basis, maybe 20% of year one revenue is the public offer, but if the affiliate's able to generate more than X MRR, then they can get 25%. And if they can get to the next tier of MRR, they can generate 30%. and so on. And you could do that for each band of that payout spectrum. So you're not only engineering the affiliate to decide to take more towards the rev share end of the spectrum, but you're also creating a natural incentive for scale. If you take that approach, you're going to set yourself up for success. If you go in and say, I'm only going to pay on rev share, this is another thing we see happen a lot where brands have a perception that affiliate marketing means rev share. Some affiliates are willing to do that and should be rewarded, compensated well if they take that risk. But there are some affiliates who have great reach and the right audience, strategic fit, and they can drive scale and activate immediately, but they have choices and they're not going to work with you on a rev share basis. They're going to want to work with you on a CPA or CPL. And I think to have a really successful, robust program, you need to be prepared to engage with partners in all of those different methods.
What you're saying, be flexible with the kind of partners you're getting in and align things with based on what they can do for you. If somebody has good ways to get to your audience, they fit your IPP, then reward them accordingly as well.
You have to be able to experiment a little bit. I think sometimes the challenge is that with CPL and CPA, depending on the company, you can start to overlap with, is it affiliate marketing or paid media? Should this be managed by another group that's managing these types of deals? Those sorts of conflicts can happen. There's also like, where does that budget come from? If it's not tied to revenue, like affiliate, sometimes the way, at least on larger organizations, their funding is tied specifically to revenue. They'll get a certain amount of fixed budget for agency and technology, but the partner payout is tied to sales. If you're paying out on a CPL that isn't directly correlating to sales, then that just creates a little more friction sometimes. I think the brands that have flexibility and are able to convince leadership and finance to provide some budget, and they have some appetite for testing different types of offers, different types of reward structures, they're ultimately going to be more successful.
It goes really well into my next question. So being flexible is definitely a best practice. Do you have any other best practices when it comes to setting up a successful affiliate program?
You definitely need a platform. You need a tool like yours, because to be able to scale for maybe one or two partners, you can do it without it. But ultimately, you're going to have hundreds, thousands of partners. The contract management, the tracking, you need the amount of reporting to the affiliates to handle a clearinghouse for payments, a dynamic committee, all of those things. You need a tool to enable the type of approach that we would want. We could never manage a program if it wasn't on a platform like this or one of the other types of platforms out there. Technology, I think, is key. Shamelessly advise getting an agency as well. On a serious note, I really think that with paid media, there's a lot of people out there that have paid search skills, and there's a lot of tools out there that automate it, and you don't necessarily need an agency for that. But I think with affiliate marketing, it's a unique skill set, and there's relationships and a lot of best practices that you really need to know. And it will take somebody a much longer curve. I think you can fast track that by hiring an agency that knows what they're doing and getting a best in class technology platform. I think you're well served to have success.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree here. So I will back you up on this.
Okay.
Well, that's what we see in our platform as well. Like, not to make it commercial, but in the end, as you mentioned before, leverage a network of affiliates from a network or a platform like ours, but also from an agency, and then leverage all the knowledge they have.
No, I echoing what you're saying. And I think there's also, again, I know we want to talk more about marketing in general, but I think one of the advantages of an agency, you have aggregate buying power. We're negotiating with a publisher on behalf of Notion and Google and TikTok and Uber and Klaviyo. And so we're buying a lot of inventory from those partners. If we're now working with another Acme SaaS, we can have a little more leverage than them approaching that partner directly on their own. Not only do we have the relationship, we know who to call, they take our call, we speak to them daily, but we also can say, listen, I need you to, I've got this new offer. Can you put this on position one and run it for 30 days? Let's see how it does. That's very hard to break in.
Yeah. I guess for people who don't understand, if you have certain keywords you want to be ranking for, so let's say you're a CRM, there's often blogs out there which are like the best CRM tools or the 9 best CRM tools. What Adam means here is you want to be on top position number 1, and it's always the same publishers, the same affiliates who are ranking really well on these content articles because they've invested a lot of money into it. If you have a relationship and you want to get yourself out there and when you get yourself listed, having a relationship like this will help you to actually get yourself listed and get you on a higher position, because
Right.
it is true, like even all these articles are not always the best ones are at top. The one who pays the most or has the best relationship is going to be on top.
That's it. Sometimes it is purely just an auction marketplace, and whoever's willing to pay the most gets in. But this is the world. It's relationship driven. Sometimes, so these sites that I was just talking about, what we call listicles, where they're stack ranking different advertisers. Once they've got a successful matrix of companies, they don't want to touch that too much, and they don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to knock somebody out of the position to test someone else who then ultimately isn't going to be successful. And now you've got to go back to that other advertiser. It requires sometimes relationships to say, look, divert 10% of the traffic. Let's test this other offer. Let's see what happens when we move this guy to the second position. A relationship can get that done.
Yeah, we made it sound super easy right now to set up an affiliate program. What are some of the common challenges SaaS companies will face when trying to grow an affiliate? How can they overcome them?
I think some specific challenges, I think, would be incrementality. One of the biggest challenges I think that all, not just SaaS companies face, but all affiliate programs face is how do you ensure that the affiliates are driving incremental referrals, right? How do you make sure they're not driving customers you would have gotten anyway? Oftentimes you're giving affiliates not only a reward, like a rev share or cost per lead or something, but you're also probably in a lot of cases giving them some sort of discount that they can distribute or some sort of value add that they can distribute to their customers. Ensure that you're not just discounting customers and paying a bounty to a third party for a customer that probably was going to find you anyway. And that, again, requires technology, but it also requires someone who knows how to use that technology to read those, what I call cross-channel insights, understand which partners are really just coming in at the bottom of the buying funnel and are leapfrogging credit from other partners or from other media sources. Are you overpaying some partners? And are you undercrediting other partners, right? There's a lot of affiliates, particularly influencers, that are introducing customers into the buying flow. And if but for that interaction, that customer wouldn't even have known about you. And that was really the interaction should win the credit for the sale. But you're rewarding this other affiliate who's like that last click, and that's a mistake. So being able to use technology and have someone managing your program who understands how to interpret those insights and action on those insights, you can ensure that you are not throwing money at partners that aren't really driving incremental value. And you can reinvest those dollars to partners that are really driving incremental value because of the limits of the way you're measuring. They're not showing on the radar as driving immediate revenue. That's a key thing. And I think also, especially with B2B SaaS, being able to marry the front end of your program to your back end, not just looking at top line numbers like how many new customers did I generate and the CAC of those customers, but are those customers churning? Are they adding on new revenue? Are they growing? What's the new ARR and ARR growth? And what does the LTV model look like from the customers from this channel? And not just from the channel, but from this segment of partners or this particular partner, because that also is going to be key to optimizing your program. That's how you're really going to build a super successful program.
Yeah, getting the right insights and making sure who's actually doing the things you want them to do and making you the money long term. We are going to go into the final part of the podcast show. So when we take it a bit more wide, feel free to answer how you'd like. So when we talk about growing a B2B SaaS, what kind of advice would you give a SaaS founder who's just starting out and growing to 10K monthly recurring revenue right now?
The advice I would have given myself, there are two types of companies, right? What I call lifestyle brands, and then there are growth. And so lifestyle brand is one where the founders are it's supporting their lifestyle and they're taking a lot of the profit out to support their lives. To really get to scale and get to that sort of breakthrough velocity, you need to reinvest. And that means investing in marketing, hiring the right talent, and just keep reinvesting towards and growth, excessive ungrowth, and brand, and just creating a product that's really valuable.
And then let's assume we reached 10K monthly recurring revenue. We're going to take it one step further. We're going to grow towards 10 million ARR. Any specific advice here?
Once you're at that point, then you're going from growth to efficiency and starting to think about investing in things like maybe some tools that allow you to look at incrementality of all your marketing, which is that's not like directly growth. It's a cost center, right? Like, so if you're investing in some tool that's going to have a cost without being directly tied to revenue, but it's going to help you be more efficient in the long term. And so I think at that point, you're making those kind of investments. Whereas like at the beginning, it's growth at any cost. Even if you're losing money, you're winning customers and scaling. And then you get to a certain point where you're at critical mass, and now it's okay, we have to start thinking about profitability. How do we be more intelligent with our media buying? We need to invest in some tools and processes to see that and optimize.
Nice, thanks. I'm going to try to summarize. So we talked about how to set up an affiliate program for your B2B SaaS. First of all, why affiliate marketing? In theory, there's no cap to reach. It's performance-based, so less risks. Works great with SMB audience, big TAM, and platform products work good. It will take time to set up and grow the channel. If you are going to set it up and grow the program, first of all, set up a strategy, go to market plan, go from ICP to IPP, do competitor research, set up KPIs, set up your offer, get materials needed for the affiliate, recruitment, leverage a network of affiliates, either like a platform like Reddit or from an agency partner, or both. Check your competitor affiliates, leverage discovery tools. Once you have the affiliates, segment them, going from unmanaged versus managed buckets. Differentiate them on the types and needs, set the rewards up in a way where the structure is going to be that the affiliate has to take more risk, but more reward as well. Create different tiers, be flexible and experiment with them. In the end, leverage technology. You need a platform to scale, to stay flexible and receive the right insights. Some common mistakes: not activating affiliates or doing active affiliate management. So not actually helping your partners to sell.
Wow, you're like an AI.
Exactly.
Great.
Nice. Thanks for coming on, Adam. Like, if people want to get in contact with you, how can they do so?
If you find me, you can just search my name. You can find me on all major social networks. I'm Adam Glazer. Company's Partner Commerce. That's our handle's Partner Commerce. My personal handle is Adam Glazer. And yeah, we'd love to have a chat. So feel free to reach out, and happy to meet and greet everybody out there. Good luck to everyone with your affiliate marketing and growing your B2B SaaS. This was a real pleasure, Joran. Thank you for having me on.
Great. We're going to make sure we'll add the link to your LinkedIn profile, to the website of Partner Commerce, so people can't make any spelling mistakes. And if you are listening, please, again, leave us a review or leave us like a comment on the polls we always do. So I'd love to hear what you think of these episodes. Thanks again, Adam.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for watching this show of the Grow Your B2B SaaS podcast. You made it till the end, so I think we can assume you like this content. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, feel free to reach out if you want to sponsor the show. If you have a specific guest in mind, if you have a specific topic you want us to cover, reach out to me on LinkedIn. More than happy to take a look at it. If you want to know more about Reddit, feel free to reach out as well. But for now, have a great day and good luck growing your B2B SaaS.